What if I told you the most radical thing about Wonder Woman? His first appearance was under Magic Lasso, or her invisible plane. It was the way she was drawn. In a world of barrel-chested strongmen, one artist created a superhero who was powerful, graceful, and unapologetically feminine. This is a story of how Harry George Peter, or H.G. Peter, used his ink to define the very soul of Wonder Woman and set her apart from every hero who came before. Many comic fans know the writer, William Moulton Marston. But today we're diving deep into the art that gave his vision life, an art style that was decades in the making and became a quiet revolution on the comic book page. Forget what you think you know about Golden Age comics. This is about how one artist's unique vision shaped an icon forever. So, who was H.G.? Long before he ever sketched an Amazon princess, Peter was a well-established artist with a very particular style. Born in 1880, he came of age during the turn of the century, and his artistic sensibilities were shaped by the popular illustrations of the time. Think of the famous Gibson Girl drawings by Charles Dana Gibson, elegant women with flowing hair, poised and confident. That was Peter's world. He wasn't drawing gritty crime fighters. He was drawing sophisticated, aspirational figures for magazines and newspapers. But what's truly fascinating is his work outside of mainstream illustration. Peter was deeply involved in the women's suffrage movement, creating political cartoons that championed the cause for women's right to vote. His art from this period is incredible. He drew women not as victims, but as powerful symbols of progress, breaking chains and leading the way. This background made him a seemingly strange choice for a superhero comic in the 1940s. A medium dominated by muscular, brawling men, drawn by young, hungry artists. But for William Moulton Marston, a psychologist with a mission to create a new kind of hero, Peter wasn't strange, he was perfect. Marston needed someone who could draw strength without sacrificing grace, someone who understood how to visually represent female power in an inspiring way. He needed H.G. Peter. Now let's look at the art itself. Pick up any other superhero comic from 1941. You'll see heavy, dark lines, exaggerated muscles, and a lot of clenched fists. The action is stiff, almost brutal. Then, you open All-Star Comics number 8 and see Wonder Woman for the first time. The difference is staggering. Peter's line work is delicate, almost decorative. His figures are fluid and dynamic, moving with the grace of a dancer, not a weightlifter. Look at how he draws Wonder Woman leaping or deflecting bullets. There's a sense of energy and flow, not just brute force. He paid incredible attention to fabric, the way her costume moved with her body, and most importantly, two facial expressions. While other heroes often had a single determined grimace, Peter's Wonder Woman could be compassionate, joyful, fierce, and thoughtful, sometimes all within a few panels. He wasn't just drawing a character or punching a bad guy. He was illustrating a person with a rich inner life. This focus on emotion and elegance was completely unique. He showed that strength didn't have to look like a man's strength. Wonder Woman's power was in her confidence, her compassion, and her poise, all perfectly captured by Peter's elegant, flowing lines. He made her powerful by making her beautiful, not in a passive way, but in an active, confident, and utterly groundbreaking way for the time. The partnership between Peter and Marston was a true collaboration of visionaries, and a famous anecdote perfectly illustrates their dynamic. Early in their work together, Marston had a criticism. He felt that Peter was drawing Wonder Woman's shoes incorrectly. He told Peter that they looked like the sensible, sturdy shoes a stenographer would wear. Peter's response was simple and brilliant. "That's what I'm drawing." A stenographer into momenti captured the entire philosophy behind the character. Wonder Woman wasn't just a mythical Amazon princess from a distant island. In her alter ego as Diana Prince, she was an everyday working woman. She was relatable. She was meant to be an inspiration, not just for what she could do with her superpowers, but for the confidence and capability she embodied in her daily life. Marston wanted a psychological role model, and Peter understood that to make her truly inspiring, she had to be grounded in reality. This wasn't just a writer dictating to an artist. It was a shared understanding that their creation needed to connect with ordinary women and girls. Peter's art ensured that even when she was fighting gods and monsters, Wonder Woman had her feet planted firmly on the ground, wearing shoes that any woman in the audience could imagine herself in. The legacy of H.G. Peter's art is woven into the very fabric of Wonder Woman. After Peter passed away in 1957, the art style for the character began to change, reflecting the shifting tastes of the Silver and Bronze Ages of comics. Artists like Ross Andru and Mike Esposito brought a more conventional, dynamic superhero style to the book. In the 70s, she lost her powers for a time and became a martial arts expert, with the art reflecting that mod, action-oriented era. And in the 80s, George Perez famously redesigned and redefined her for a new generation, giving her a more athletic, powerful physique that has largely defined her modern look. But even through all these changes, Peter's foundation remains. Look at her iconic costume. The eagle emblem, the star-spangled shorts, the bracelets, those were all established in Peter's original designs. More importantly, the essence of the character he helped create, that blend of strength, grace, and compassion, is the North Star that artists continually return to. Even Perez, in his legendary run, made sure to emphasize her role as a diplomat and an ambassador of peace, echoing the themes Peter and Marston laid down decades earlier. Peter's influence isn't just in the details. It's in the fundamental idea that Wonder Woman is more than just a fighter. So, when we celebrate Wonder Woman, we're not just celebrating a character. We're celebrating a revolutionary vision. Peter's art wasn't just window dressing for Marston scripts. It was a statement. It was a core component of Wonder Woman's feminist message, arguing that femininity and strength are not opposites, but two sides of the same golden coin. His delicate lines and expressive characters were a quiet rebellion against the hypermasculine norms of the Golden Age, creating a hero who won not just with her fists, but with her heart and her humanity. He proved that a superhero could be graceful, compassionate, and beautiful, and that those qualities were the very source of her power. His work ensured that from her very first appearance, Wonder Woman was, and always would be, in a league of her own. What are your thoughts on H.G. Peter's art? Do you prefer the Golden Age look, or a more modern interpretation of Wonder Woman? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to read what you think. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into comic book history, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Thanks so much for watching.